Good evening. My name is Bill Murphy, Public Information Officer on the Thomas Fire. This is our evening update for December 12th. Before I turn it over to Operations Section Chief Mark Brown, I would like to make one important announcement. The City of Ventura is opening a local assistance center starting tomorrow. The hours are going to be 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. The local assistance center will be open from tomorrow through December 31st. The address is the Poinsettia Pavilion at 3451 Foothill Road in the city of Ventura. I'll now turn it over to Chief Brown.
Good evening. Another busy day for our firefighters, both on the ground and in the air. Unfortunately, we did not get as much helicopter time in all of the areas of the fire that we would have liked. Smoke conditions in the Santa Barbara zone, which eliminating the helicopter operations to about a couple hours in Santa Barbara zone, but that opened up opportunities to use our aviation aircraft assets in other areas of the fire. At one point, we had 7 Type 1 air tankers operating in the fire. We also have a mobile retardant plant that our helicopters are able to dip into on the east side of the fire. We're also using them for water tenders. The water tenders fill up with the retardant. They drive over, and we've been using them in the Santa Barbara zone where the structures are embedded up against the sides of the hills, and we've been applying the retardant from the ground in those areas to defend when the fire comes down the hill. It'll limit its spread, give our firefighters a better chance to go in there and take action. Between the helicopters and the water tenders, 132,000 gallons of retardant went out of that plant today. While the smoke limited our ability to take action with helicopters in the Santa Barbara zone, it increases our ability to put ground troops in there. It moderates the fire behavior. So where the terrain would allow our firefighters to get in there and be direct on the fire line, that's what they did today. However, like it does just about every night in that area, about 4:30 this evening, we did have a flare-up that is very visible from the valley or from the 101 area. It's in Romero Canyon, and it's what we call rollout. A burning item rolled down to the bottom or almost to the bottom of the hill, and then the fire burns up through the drainage. Very impressive looking. However, it's not threatening any homes at this time. We have firefighters in place at all of the homes. It's actually bringing the fire down to where we can access it and start putting direct fire line in that area. We also had a very successful day in Fillmore. Those 7 fixed wings that I was telling you about and the copters were working in the Fillmore area. We've turned the corner there, and we have fire line directly on the fire's edge coming out of the valley floor and up the slope. Thank you.
Good evening. Rich Thompson, incident meteorologist with the National Weather Service. Across the fire today, we had very similar weather conditions to what we've experienced the last couple of days. So this morning there were some gusty northeast winds across the fire, generally between 20 and 30 miles per hour. But by late this morning, early this afternoon, those winds began to shift to more southerly onshore sort of direction. But now, as Chief Brown said, they're starting to turn back again to the north and northeast. So overnight tonight and through tomorrow morning across the fire, we can expect another round of north to northeast winds, generally gusting around 20 to 25 miles per hour in the windier spots. But then by late tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, those winds will shift around to a more southerly up valley direction again. But then tomorrow evening, those winds will switch yet again back to the north and northeast and probably be a little bit stronger tomorrow night into Thursday morning. But again, switching out of the north-northeast late tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. RH-wise, things are very dry across the fire today. Again, a lot of widespread single-digit relative humidities. Expect that trend to continue tomorrow with very poor recoveries tonight. And with those conditions remaining in place, the dry conditions, low relative humidity, the gusty winds, the red flag warning for Ventura County has been extended until 10 a.m. Friday morning. So again, for Ventura County, for this fire, The red flag warning is in effect now until 10 a.m.
My name is Tim Chavez. I serve on CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 4 as a fire behavior analyst. When you look at the fire in the daylight hours, especially from the Santa Barbara front country perspective, the fire looks very benign. The tongues of flame are real tiny. It doesn't appear to move much, and in fact, the acreage movement in the daylight hours is minimal. Bulk of the acres the last 3 or 4 days has been acreage that has been consumed as the fire moves at night. Nighttime firefighting is kind of its own danger because it's very difficult to become oriented to the terrain. We move resources from other parts of the fire, so firefighters arrive in an area that they have not seen in daylight, and that's one of the cautions that we have on our list of on our checklist of cautions called the 18 situations that shall watch out. I don't see that changing in the near future. The way the fire is on the front country there and the way the winds shift, there's like 4 wind shifts a day in the front country, and that growth at night will continue for the next couple of days.
Good evening. My name is Jay Kurth. I'm the Unified Incident Commander representing the U.S. Forest Service. To date, the total acres is 236,000 acres. Our containment has gone up to 25%. Our total personnel assigned to the incident has increased to 7,851, and we've spent $55.6 million to date.
Give me that number again.
$55.6 million. So the one thing I do want to point out is that, from over in Fillmore all the way across up in above Santa Barbara, we're in every phase of firefighting, from recovery through repopulation into evacuations and continuing with ongoing fire suppression action. Every part of government is working for the residents and the communities, and we're doing an outstanding job of coordinating all of that activity and a huge, tremendous effect of support for everybody involved from every agency that's represented behind me. The complexity associated with that and just the magnitude of this incident that's happened in the last eight or so days. Just to put that in context, the Zaka fire took 8 weeks to get to this acreage and more, and we've done it in eight or so days. That speaks just tremendous amount of effort that's gone in to support the folks that are impacted by this incident.
Before we open it up for questions, I would like to make one correction. I misspoke at the beginning. The local assistance center that's open at the Poinsettia Pavilion will be open to all residents affected by the fire in the county of Ventura. We'll now open it up for questions.
There were reports that a firefighter fell ill or was injured up around Romero Canyon. Is there anything to that?
A firefighter was transported off the line to the hospital for evaluation. Those are the only details we have.
We're in day 8 of this incident right now. Have we come any closer to determining an actual cause or point of origin for the fire in Fillmore, up in that area? What might have caused it? Any idea?
The cause of the fire is still under investigation.
Is there any work that's being done between U.S. Forest Service, CAL FIRE, and Southern California Edison? Because they were concerned possibly their lines might have marked or something like that. Is that being looked into as a possibility?
All I can tell you is the cause is still under investigation.
Regarding the fire itself and the path in which it's going, we've got Montecito, you've got Carpinteria, and then you've got the area that's moving up into the sanctuary of the Los Padres National Forest. Which of those is the most active front, in your opinion, right now, and where is this fire more than likely able to run versus stalling out, given the backfiring you've done and everything else like that?
Sure. So where is the most active part of the fire right now?
Where's the most active part of the fire
Chief
right
Brown?
now? Where's it going?
The most active area of the fire is in the Santa Barbara zone. It is in the Santa Barbara front country along the Camino Cielo ridgeline. And with the future forecast that we see for Thursday, we see it continuing to march along that front country. And we also are concerned about, on the other side of Camino Cielo in the Santa Ynez drainage, if the wind surfaces down into that area, it could push that fire further to the east. We have a indirect fire line constructed along Camino Cielo now. We also have fire line that is following the Jesucita burn perimeter on Gibraltar Road. And we will be evaluating potential firing operations in anticipation of some type of wind event so that we would have a line that we would be able to stop a fire front from moving from east to west. We also have a fire line constructed and a firing plan on the north side of the Camino Cielo going down to Gibraltar Reservoir to stop any spread and catch the spread in the Santa Ynez drainage.
There is the area which was burned in the Zaca fire about 10 years ago. Is a large chunk of the fire headed for that burned out area? And if it does get there, do you anticipate it would stall out regardless of what the winds would do because you don't have that much fuel there?
I wouldn't say stall out, I would say slow down. Some of the fire scars that the fire is hitting now, the fire is going out, but there's more recent burns. The Jesucita, and perhaps Tim may correct me, but there's been enough time for regrowth that the fire just won't go out when it hits it, but it will potentially limit its spread.
You mentioned firing out. Does that apply to the areas of Montecito and Carpinteria, meaning you did that fairly successfully last night? Are you thinking about this from Montecito to the idea of saying, if you can, if the weather allows it, fire out, get up there and try to stop this thing from going by taking away the fuel?
In the Carpinteria area is where we've been successful going direct as of yet. So I don't see firing operations in the Carpinteria area. It's more the Montecito towards the Santa Barbara area.
Are you anticipating that tonight, or is it just a question of what the meteorologist said?
It will not happen tonight, and it will happen when the conditions are appropriate for us to do it.
Just to kind of follow up on where Pete was going, we're looking at the control objectives here, and I know that we've got a lot of burn scars all the way around. Do the control objectives roughly match out where those burn scars meet, or?
Very much so, portions of it, yes. And it's not just because of the burn scars, history repeats itself, especially with fire. And control points that were used with one fire are likely going to be successful for another fire, and they've already constructed fire line in those areas. It makes it easier for us to go through and reopen those old fire lines. Our strategy has been to use old fire lines, fuels management projects, and then connecting those with fire line that we've constructed ourselves.
Do you have enough assets to do the proper structure protection in the area of Montecito?
Yes, we do.
What, one engine for 5 homes or something like that?
I could not give you a ratio. Our division supervisors, we divide it in geographical areas we call divisions, and each day the division supervisor evaluates his or her needs for that area, and we assign the resources as appropriate. We also establish staging areas. Should the fire intensity be greater than expected, we pull the engines out of the staging area and engage them.
Do you have any idea of rough number of engines you've got in that particular sector right now? Rough number?
That's,
If nothing
yeah.
else, give me a swag, a scientific wild ass guess, something.
Somewhere between 400 and 600.
400 and 600 engines in Montecito?
In Montecito, yeah.
Not the Santa Barbara front country area. We have between 400 to 600 fire engines.
Out of a total of how many?
On the incident,
On the incident, yeah.
I would have.
We'll give you specifics.
All right, yeah.
Any additional questions this evening?
Are there any updated numbers regarding structures destroyed or damaged?
I can give you some additional numbers. In the city of Ventura, single-family residences damaged 132, destroyed 504. Other minor structures damaged 7, destroyed 19. In the unincorporated area of Ventura County, single-family residences damaged 33, destroyed 196. Other minor structures damaged 18, destroyed 167. In the Santa Barbara County unincorporated areas, single-family residences destroyed, 5, and other minor structures, 1. And the damage inspection process continues.
Have we passed over that 7,000 firefighter mark? I missed the numbers.
Yeah, that's correct. We're just under 8,000 personnel. All right, thank you again for being here. We will continue to have these briefings as the situation warrants. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
I'm the on-call IO, and Garo's still on call. So
At the command post, we'll get 5 or 6 phone calls from the media at night. Typically, we refer them to the PIO or Garo.
yeah, if there's no at night, if there's no PIO here, on the top of the fact sheet